Welcome to a brand new vlog. So first of all, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. This is the first official vlog of 2024. So in case this is your first time here, my name is Diane. I'm an indie author. I have one book out currently. It's a little poetry collection called In the Interest of Letting Go, and links for that are down below. And I make videos about my writing process, my life, and all that stuff here on YouTube, and you're watching one of them, so subscribe if you like the vibe. Now we're doing a little bit of time traveling in this vlog. Today's actually January 4th. I lost the intro clip to this vlog originally, so I'm just here to make a quick new one. We're actually gonna go back in time to December 31st, 2023, when I actually started this vlog. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about kind of what's been going on, how I'm feeling, how I'm getting ready for the new year, my stats for my novel, and all that sort of stuff. But before that, I'm gonna take you back to December 24th and leave you with a little bit of footage from Christmas with my family. And then I'll see you back on December 31st. Okay, so the last time I vlogged was December 20th, so 11 days ago. So as far as things you've missed in those 11 days, as you saw, I had Christmas with my family. Since then, I've basically, the main thing I've been doing is, and I did talk about this on my live stream that I did yesterday. The main thing I've been working on, honestly, has been like Notion and Google spreadsheets. I've been making so many spreadsheets. I've been making spreadsheets for everything. So I've had like expense tracker spreadsheets. I was also noting my income, but it wasn't like a real like income tracker spreadsheet. It was just kind of like, it was part of the expense tracker. Anyway, I've had an expense tracker spreadsheet for a few years now. So I made a new one for 2024, but I also made a dedicated income tracker spreadsheet where I like list all the different sources of income, because in 2023, I did manage to create a few more sources of income, which is lovely. And then I just made a bunch more spreadsheets for like business expenses, book publishing expenses, book publishing income. I have a spreadsheet to track book sales, all this stuff. And most of these things are kind of new in my life, so that's why I didn't have a spreadsheet kind of set up already. So I did spend like 3 full days. I was obsessed, and I was actually feeling really good about how hyper focused I was. Like I just became so hyper focused on creating these spreadsheets, and not just like creating spreadsheets, like they're color coded. I put in formulas like on the separate pages, and then formulas that link to like totals and stuff from other pages. Like I always lied on my resume when I said like proficient at Excel or whatever. I was never good at spreadsheets, like Excel spreadsheets. I knew how to like type things in. I didn't know any like formulas or anything. I don't know how to use that. When I tell you that I have learned quite a bit about Excel spreadsheets and like how to do formulas and like sums and like adding things, and oh my god. And I feel good. I feel so powerful. Like I just want to make more spreadsheets. I keep thinking about like what else in my life can I track? What else in my life do I need to like make a spreadsheet for? Like I'll do it. So yeah, definitely a few days there I was super hyper focused on making spreadsheets, and it's especially felt really good because I have struggled a lot with focusing, like even like focusing on things that I like and that I want to do. I've just struggled with being able to focus for longer than like 10-15 minutes at a time, 20 minutes at a time. Like it has been a struggle. So being able to hyper focus on those spreadsheets just felt so good. Like it felt like how I used to feel when I was a kid and would like get hyper focused on something. I love that. I miss that feeling. I want that feeling all the time for anything that I do. So that felt really good. And when I say like I was hyper focused, like I shifted my entire sleep schedule because of how much I just wanted to work on these spreadsheets. Like I would go, like I think the first night I went until like 2 in the morning working on spreadsheets. Okay, I mean that's not everything that I did all day, but it's what I did most of the day. Like it took up a lot of my time and like my brain power and my energy. Like I Yeah, and so it definitely shifted my sleep schedule. My sleep has been kind of a little bit all over the place lately, although I am working on getting it back, just in time for the new year. So it really occupied my whole being, making those spreadsheets. And along with that, I've also been, and I think I've already mentioned this, but I've been continuing to add to my Notion. Another thing that I've become pretty focused on and obsessed with, making Notion pages. I've just really loved creating pages for everything. And I'm not even I'm not done yet. There are still more things that I want to create pages for, and I also need to add more to these pages. A lot of these pages are just kind of set up, but they're not quite filled out yet, and I will obviously be adding more as the year goes on. But I have a pretty good base to work with as far as Notion pages. I'm loving it. But yeah, I've mainly been working on my Notion pages and my spreadsheets and really just getting as organized as possible for the new year. A huge thing I've mentioned many times is I've struggled for many years, but especially lately with feeling grounded. I have no roots. I don't feel grounded, And a part of that is, mental health stuff and just kind of feeling out of alignment with things. I overwhelm myself very easily because there's a lot that I want to do, and there's a lot of parts of my life that I want to organize and do well in and do things in. There's a lot. I just have a lot, and I do make lists and stuff, but I need more of a detailed breakdown of things. I need to take that big list and then break it down into the different categories and different things. The list can get easily overwhelming. And really with Notion, I've just been breaking things down into manageable categories and manageable little things. It's definitely the most organized I've been in a long time, and I think that's really helping with my feeling of groundedness, and it's really gonna set me up for success in the new year. And that really is my goal, at the end of 2023, was to just do anything and everything that I can to just go into 2024 feeling a little bit more grounded, a little bit more organized, less frazzled, less scattered. I really want to start off the year strong. Okay, now as far as Ben, I'm happy to report that I have officially started writing the 4th draft of Ben. In my last vlog, I did technically start it in the sense that I copied and pasted the prologue, which I'm 80% sure I'm going to be cutting from the draft from the book. Not positive yet, so it's in there, but I'm pretty sure I'll be cutting it out. But what I had done in that last vlog was I copied and pasted. I did change a few little things, but I didn't really do much. So since that vlog, I have completed chapter 1. I do want to go over it again. Chapter 1, I have struggled with my opening line, my opening paragraph, my opening kind of image sort of thing. Since day 1, it has changed so many times, and I have just not liked how I open chapter 1. I don't like my first line. I don't like that whole little preamble. It goes pretty quickly into, the action of the scene, but I do want a little bit, there's a little bit of a preamble that I want in there to kind of set things up. And while I think this version is a little bit better than, draft 3, it's still just not right, and it's bothering me. I really had to push myself past it. Otherwise I would still be on my first line. I hate it so much. I cannot wait till I get that chapter opening right. I can't wait. It's not this draft apparently, but I'm hoping that I think I'm closer. I'm not there yet. And so yeah, I did manage to do the rest of the chapter. It's actually the way I've broken it up, it's actually a little bit shorter than I want it to be, I think, although it is kind of a quick, I don't know, it's definitely short. It's definitely shorter than it was before, obviously. I think currently it's just over 1,500 words. I might add a little bit more in. I think it could use a little bit more, but it might just be kind of a 1,500, 2,000 word chapter, and I think that's okay because it is kind of quick paced, what happens in it. So I think it works. But yeah, I did finish. I actually wrote chapter 1, and when I say wrote, I did change a lot of lines. I did do some line level stuff, but I did copy and paste chunks of it because I am mostly using, the same scene. I haven't changed the scene necessarily. At least the first scene. I did change the second scene a little bit based on changes that I'm making. So I have been copying and pasting chunks, and then I just kind of change it to present tense. So I'm not exactly writing it all from scratch. I am writing some things from scratch, but I am using a lot of the meat from draft 3, which is great. And I feel like that'll help me get through things quicker, even though I know that there are quite a few changes I'm going to be making. If I can use as much of draft 3 as possible, I will. That will help me get through things quicker. So I am feeling really good about that. Also, I did decide I'm going to be tracking draft 4 on Pacemaker. I used Pacemaker a little bit for draft 2 and then kind of fell off and stopped tracking on Pacemaker, but I have decided to use it again because I really like the way that it's kind of laid out and the way that you can like adjust things. Like there's a lot of good options for how it breaks up your word counts and stuff for the day, and I just like the way it tracks everything. So I created a draft 4 project on Pacemaker and I'm liking it so far. I'll put something up on the screen. So my deadline for Ben is April 1st right now. That's when I have to send it to my editor. On Pacemaker, I set my deadline to April 1st, but I also gave myself 5 no word days just kind of as a buffer, but also to give myself some time to kind of go over anything in case I want to go back to chapter 1 or something to like fix certain things. Because really with this draft, I'm trying to get through it as quickly as possible so that I can, get through the stuff that, is like line level-y that I want to change. I don't want to get stuck on that. I want to keep powering through and just put in all of the new changes for this new draft. Like I want to make sure that the developmental stuff is getting done. I don't want to get stuck on line level stuff, even though I'm such a line level girly. Like I love line editing, copy editing. I love all that stuff. So I do get a little bit hung up on those, but I'm going to try to keep powering through. So yeah, on Pacemaker, I did set it to April 1st, but then I gave myself 5 like buffer days, 0 word days. And the way I have it set up right now is kind of like oscillating. So it gives me like different word count goals for different days. And because I know I'll be going back to work in February, I also set it to have the sort of chunkier word count days on the weekends because I know that I won't be working on the weekends for the most part. And that's when I'll want to get the majority of my word count in. So yeah, that's all set up and it feels really good. Like I love being able to like track words and like see my progress. And I really like the calendar view because it kind of shows you, and I have it set to like, there's so many settings. You can set it to so many things. But yeah, I have it set to it changing the word counts based on my progress, just to kind of keep the same pace. So obviously on days when I write less, the word counts on certain days will go up. And if I write, ahead of schedule, word counts on certain days will get lower. And I love that. I love being able to see that and like to see it in calendar view. Like it shows you each day how many words. And yeah, so as you write more or less, it'll, you'll be able to see how that's affecting the rest of the time that you have to get this draft done. Yeah, so I have that set up and that's really helping with my motivation. And today, what I'm gonna do before I have to go to my parents' house for dinner and to celebrate the new year, I'm gonna bring back my sticky note system. I love my sticky note system. It is so simple, so basic, but the joy that I get from taking the sticky note from one side of the wall to the other side, I can't even begin to tell you. It feels so good. And I feel like the combination of having my sticky note system and Pacemaker and like seeing, my progress in that way, I feel like I honestly might fly through this draft 4. I'm hoping, it would be really cool to have a finished draft like by my birthday. That would be an amazing birthday present to myself, but we'll see. So excited for this. I can't wait. And actually I can already move on to the done side. Hello, happy January 1st, happy officially 2024. So yeah, I didn't really get to do much more work last night. I went over to my parents' house for dinner and for New Year's. I did bring my laptop to my parents' house, so I did end up doing a little bit of video editing while I was there, but I didn't do much else. I didn't get any Ben writing done yesterday, but that's okay. We're gonna be, January's gonna be a good writing month. I can feel it. I did have a little bit of a rough night of sleep. It's actually a big reason why I woke up a lot later than I meant to today. But that's okay, you know? I'm feeling very optimistic, feeling very hopeful. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive about this new year. I think it's gonna be an amazing new year. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a little update clip here before it got too dark. I woke up, last night we had like the first real like measurable amount of snow that actually stayed on the ground. So that was really lovely when I was driving home, and this morning seeing like the snow on rooftops and stuff. It's nice. I'm gonna be spending the rest of the day, all I've really done today, I've done some journaling. Otherwise, I am finishing up my 2023 review and 2024 goals video. That's gonna go up on my Patreon today. My Patreon is linked down below if you wanna check it out, if you wanna join me. If not, that's okay too. And yeah, my main priority today is just getting that video up for Patreon, and then some planning stuff. I'm gonna be doing some notioning. I'm just gonna try to continue to have a good day. And yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm feeling good, and I think it's gonna be a good year. Hello, happy Tuesday. Today is January 2nd, and I'm honestly feeling pretty good. It's about noon right now. I have slowly been trying to, I'm getting back into fixing my sleep schedule. I did stay up really late last night working on things, but I woke up this morning at about 9. I did some of my morning things. I've had breakfast, I've cleaned up, I've gotten ready for the day, and now it's noon, so it's, you know, it's midday, because yesterday I prioritized getting some video editing done. I need to do video editing today, but yesterday that was the priority. That took most of the day, but that's all done. It's up on Patreon. It's going up on YouTube today, so that's great. And that means that today I am going to be focusing mainly on Ben. Ben writing is my top priority today. Also, just in case you're wondering, this is my hot water bottle that I've been living with this thing the last like 2 weeks. I have been filling up this hot water bottle every night. I just put it in bed with me. I also have it sometimes during the day if I feel a little chilly, but I don't want to have like the heat on. And the heat in my condo isn't, I don't know, I gotta go talk to somebody about it, but I haven't been turning the heat on, and so I've just been using this hot water bottle, and I love it so much. Okay, so as far as Ben stats, Ben draft 4. Here we go. The general outline is done. The scene by scene, chapter by chapter breakdown is done. I have begun drafting in present tense. We are at 4,346 words. I think I mentioned this already, but yeah, I've been copying and pasting things, so it's not like a full, like I'm not rewriting every single line. I am rewriting and changing things as I'm going, as needed. And currently the 4,346 words includes the prologue, chapter 1, and one-ish scene of chapter 2. My main goal is to get through this draft and make all the changes that I need. So get everything into present tense and make all the changes based on the feedback and stuff that I got. I want to make sure that's all in there, and then I'll worry about going back and, you know, obviously refining again. But I really want this edit to be the main developmental edit. Like when I send it, I am sending it to my developmental editor, but I'm hoping that by the time it gets to them, the degree of developmental changes will be minimal. It'll kind of just be like finessing things, and then like if draft 5 can just be like a finessing of developmental things, and then I can go into draft 6 with a copy edit, line level edit. That is my goal. I would love to have this sorted out in this draft, get the last of the developmental kinks out in the next draft, and then start on what I think is my favorite part of the editing process, which is line and copy editing. Yeah, a lot to do. I'm just procrastinating by explaining all this, but my minimum goal for today is to finish chapter 2. There are 2 scenes in chapter 2. I feel like that's very, very doable. And then chapter 3 also has 2 scenes, and I would love to get that chapter done as well. But at the very least, I want to get 1 chapter done. I'm aiming for 2. We might even get to 3 today. Who knows? All I know is I need to get started because, yeah. And this first scene of chapter 2 is actually a scene that was moved from later on in what was technically chapter 1. So I've changed the order of things, and because I've changed the order, it means I've changed the time of day that it is. So some of the things that were happening in the scene need to change. So there are some changes that are happening in this scene, as well as the, you know, major tense change. So technically on Pacemaker, the word count I'm supposed to hit today is 288 words. So I'm feeling great. I know that I can do way more than that, but I am technically catching up because I didn't do any writing yesterday and I didn't do any writing on the 31st, which the word count for those 2 days is like 2,700. So if I can get at least 3,000 words, then I'll definitely be, you know, caught up with my Pacemaker word counts. I'm feeling oddly confident about powering through this draft. I don't know. I'm a little delulu, I think, which is great. I'm gonna ride that for a little bit. I'd love to do at least 3 2-hour writing sessions. We'll see where that takes me. Okay, so it's about 2:30. That was roughly a little less than 2.5 hour writing session. So I managed to get 982 words. Most of them were brand new because I was writing a scene that has changed because of the changes in this new draft. I mean, this new scene that I wrote is like, it's in the same location, it's the same two characters, it's just the conversation that's different and what they're doing is different. So I kind of had a feel for it, but it did take me a little while because I was essentially zero drafting. But yeah, like I said, it's about 2:30. I'm a little bit overdue for my 1 hour productive break. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna make lunch and I'm probably gonna do maybe some website stuff or some there's a bunch of things that I could be doing. So I'll do a couple things and then I'll get right back to writing Ben. I'm still in the first scene of chapter 2, so I still have a whole other scene to write, but I think the second scene, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be pretty short. But that is also kind of a new scene, sort of. It's a phone call. It's kind of the same sort of phone call. It's just I'm moving it. Like it was in a different place in the last draft. So I'm moving it to a new place and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I do feel like the second scene is going to be pretty quick, and honestly the rest that I have to write for this first scene of chapter 2, it's going to be a lot of copy and paste because this part of the scene is staying mostly the same as the previous draft. There's just some stuff that I have to take out because of what I changed at the beginning of the scene. So I do feel like I'm going to be able to finish this chapter in my next writing session, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm going to make some food because I'm hungry, my stomach hurts, and then we'll get back into some writing. Hello, so it is much later in the evening. It's about 9:20 right now, and I'm about to dive into my last writing session of the evening. I was hoping to get to some video editing today, as I mentioned, but I don't know. Depending on how long this writing session goes for, I'm really just trying to finish this chapter, and the good thing is I've written the new kind of opening to this scene, which is different from the previous draft, but the part of the scene that I'm going to write now is mostly staying the same. I feel like the changes will be fairly minimal. I won't need to write like entire paragraphs of brand new words. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm hoping to be done in the next half hour. If I could be done by 10 p.m. that would be great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. I did it. I have finished chapter 2. It's better than it was in the sense that it's now following the new outline. It did take me about an hour to do that, even though I did keep most of the scene intact. There was a lot of stuff that I kind of had to add in or kind of take away, just kind of tweak based on the new changes that I made. So yeah, it took me about an hour, but I got it done. I have added 3,182 words to the draft, and the draft is currently sitting at 7,449 words, which means if I'm going by my goal of making this draft 90,000 words, I really want to make this draft 90,000 words, which means cutting about 15,000 words, which feels pretty doable. So if I am going based off the 90,000 word count goal, I have 82,551 words left, and I have 89 days in which to write them. So I'm honestly feeling really good. Like I'm feeling really excited to continue with the rest of this draft. I'm feeling good about the changes that I'm making, and I'm feeling good about this present tense, you know? I feel like even though I know what I was going for with the whole retrospective, narrative, I do think that the immediacy of present tense really helps with this story. Like I feel like it's good because of the time frame that the story happens in, and just kind of like the changes, like the journey that my main character is going through in this story. I feel like it lends itself well to present tense. I feel like if she's going through it in present tense, it has a bit more of an impact. So yeah, it's obvious that this is my first full-length novel because I'm learning a lot as I go, and I'm really glad that I'm open to changes like this, and I'm not like stuck in my ways about any certain thing. I know where I'm at skill-wise, and I'm always I'm just open to whatever changes I need to make to get this story right and make it the best that I possibly can with the information that I have right now. I'm feeling good about these changes, and I think it's gonna be really good. I'm really excited to see what my editor has to say, and I'm really hoping that I have a much shorter draft to send them. I mean, we'll see. Maybe this story needs 95k to be told in the best way. We'll see. Whatever it is, I'll do it. So yeah, all that being said, I'm gonna go over to my sticky note wall and switch over the chapter 2 sticky note to the done side. And yeah, I just want to thank you for hanging out with me for the last couple days while I kind of get into this draft. I feel like this is a really amazing start to 2024 as far as Ben writing goes. I want to start this year off strong with the writing, and it's feeling good. I'm feeling good. Let me know how your 2024 is going so far. Let me know how your writing goals are going so far. What are you working on? What are you reading? What are you watching? Let me know all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got to the end of this video, comment down below, stay gold, because you are golden. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.